Here are my August favorites. I am sorry it is so late, like it's practically the end of September and I'm only doing it now. I'm sorry, I've just been crazy busy. So to start off with, I have 3 cities. I have Eindhoven, I have Belfast, and I have Istanbul. All 3 extremely different, but all 3 very great. Then I have the new Istanbul airport, which was very nice and modern and very well done. The only thing I really didn't like about it was the Wi-Fi, because I was there like 4 hours before my flight, as I always am, and I couldn't let anyone know because the Wi-Fi was such that sometimes you need to like click to accept or whatever, which is fine, but in this case you had to give your mobile number, but if your mobile number isn't Turkish, you got a problem. So I could not connect to the Wi-Fi, which was a bit of a pain. On from that though, an airline, I flew with Turkish Airlines, which I really thought was surprisingly good. It was very good. So then I've got a plane, the Boeing 787-9, and all I can think about is, was that the same plane as the one I put in my favorites of like March or April or May? Now, a movie, I saw Inside Out on the plane, and I've written some comments. What have I written? I've written, wow, I'm crying, whoa, feels too relatable. So I think that was in relation to like the happy memories becoming sad, because it was like, I missed that time of my life. And that is very relatable. But yeah, I was sitting there crying on a plane, which probably looked a little silly. I also saw Lion King in August, and it was really good. I'm one of those people who doesn't watch trailers, so I like avoided watching any trailers, seeing any pictures, nothing. And it was really good. I didn't really know what to expect, but I enjoyed it, and I liked that they could play around with some things that they didn't either dare to do or didn't want to do the first time round. So, spoilers, for example, when they started doing the whole Beauty and the Beast selection, he started saying it and I was like, oh, that sounds very familiar, and then he just kept doing it and I was like, oh, this is so great, and it was just really enjoyable. Although it was a bit of a shame because the audience with whom I went to see it were rather noisy and a little too enthusiastic, in my opinion. But, I mean, let them have fun, right? Okay, now I have 2 TV shows. I have 13 Reasons Why. I watched the final season. They've released the 3rd season, and it's good. I've sort of forgotten everything from season 1 and 2 and now also 3, but I remember really liking it, and they're dealing with it much better than they were in the 1st season. And then The Great British Bake Off. I watched various episodes throughout my life because that's what happens when you've got a British family, but I'd never really watched a full episode properly and like invested in it. And I just started watching it this month, and it was good. I mean, I haven't watched it properly, still not, but I've started watching it on Netflix in a full proper order and like getting invested, and it's really good. It's so enjoyable and amazing what they do. It's so incredible. That brings us on to food. Okay, so I can't even tell you how long ago, years and years ago, before we moved to Australia, I used to get these little sweets, which were lollipops that you dipped in sugary, soury stuff. Delicious. And we used to get them when we went to England, but they would be sort of a treat. So we didn't get them that often, and I can't remember how it happened, but I think I brought that up to my mum, and she came here and bought me as a surprise one, because I just never considered buying it, even though I can. And I ate it, and it was so good. I'd forgotten how yummy those things are. That brings me on to 2 restaurants / chains. I think they're both chains in Belfast. One is Maggie Mae's, and it was a bit like a diner, I guess, but it wasn't quite as good as the American diner, but it was relatively cheap, good food, and it was what I needed one of the nights, so I just ate there. And then the second one was Boujon's, which is a bit like a Mexican thing, and the staff were really nice, really helpful, because I am not good with spice, but I love Mexican food. So I was like, how spicy is this? And they were like, let me put it on the side for you. And I was like, thank you. And I don't know, they were just really nice. And finally, I did make a whole vlog about it, but I went to see Very Expensive Poison, which was incredible. I so highly recommend it. Check out that vlog, I'll link it below. Definitely go see it if it's still on, which I think it is. And that wasn't actually the last one, because the last one is the actual theatre it was in, which is the Old Vic Theatre, which was a very nice theatre, even though they were doing lots of renovations. Again, spoke about that in the video. Okay, like I said, I'm sorry for only putting this up now, but bye!